Hello, aloha, this is Ash Tart. You're a beautiful twin flame reader. You're also a beautiful, amazing person. Thank you for joining me for this twin flame origins video. Today I'm talking about twin flame magic, miracles, and synchronicities. And I'm doing this in manifestation too. I'm doing this because I've studied magic for 20 years. I've studied self-help and psychology for over 20 years, and synchronicities for about the same amount of time, 20 years. And there's a lot of like misconceptions that I feel like I'm seeing in the twin flame community. Maybe I'm not. You know, perception is key, and I'm totally open to maybe this is not correct, but I've been studying it for such a long time. I've seen an effect for such a long time. I've seen what works and what doesn't work for such a long time that I feel like I can kind of like advise you about what may be true, what may not be true. So this is a beautiful video to explain how to use magic like to your benefit with your twin flame union, getting into your twin flame union, how to use synchronicities to your benefit, and how to use miracles and manifestation to your benefit so you're not controlled by anything, you're not controlled by the universe, by God, by Goddess, by any source. You are a free will being with the opportunity to do everything that you want to do. So let's start there. You are a free will being with the opportunity to do anything that you want to do in the way, the manner that you wish to do it. That is your right, that is your divine privilege given to you from the source, from the all that is. And that is your, what's the word? It's your responsibility. Okay, it's your responsibility to use your free will choice. It's your responsibility not to be coerced into any form of action. You can be convinced, you can be shown a direction, but if you start to feel at any point that you're being coerced, forced, or made to do something that your body, your soul, and your core feel is not okay, it feels like this is a little too much, it's like overextending, it's being taken from me instead of me giving it willingly, then you have the responsibility as a free will being to pull back, go back into your energy, go back into your core, and choose the course of action that serves you the best instead of any other source or energy out there. There are many sources, many energy out there, many energies out there, many shifting energies all the time, and some of them have your best interests at heart, but not most of them. Most of them have their own best interests at heart. And all of those beings have the ability to make magic, miracles, and synchronicities happen in your life, which is a reason to be a little bit wary of what, just pops up. Is this really coming from the source, from my highest self, for my highest benefit, or is it like some other being? It might be an angelic being, it might be a divine being, it might be something from the higher realms, but they also have their own agendas that are not necessarily your highest agenda. So the most important thing with that is to get in touch with your core, your divine core. And this is super hard, right? It's really hard because we all want to be part of society. We all want to be part of keep things flowing, keep things moving, help out other people. We don't want to be obstacles. We don't want to feel like we're in the way. We want to feel like we're helpful. We want to feel like other people benefit from us. And it makes things difficult, right? Because if you're being called from your core to go out in one direction, it's like this is a direction I'm being pulled, but it kind of rubs against the grain of like the collective. It feels like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that because it's too much. I should just go with the collective. I should just do what the collective is doing. There's that sort of thing that happens, right? That also comes into play with the higher realms, because they don't always have your highest interest in mind. They have the highest interest of the universe in mind, or the highest interest of and yeah, so I have a lot of goddess energy, and my guides and everything tell me like, you are a goddess in a human body, and you've been reincarnated in a human body. Like, congratulations. Like, okay, sweet. So I have all these memories and stuff that go back, and when I do readings for you, and or for people, all my clients over the years. I've been reading for 16 years professionally. So all of my clients, and I do readings for them, and their guides don't always have their highest interests at heart. Most of the time they do, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes we have guides that, you know, don't really want us to succeed in the way we want to succeed. They want us to succeed in the way that some other force, for a variety of reasons, wants people to succeed. So, so regardless of whether you're in contact with your guides or not, regardless of whether you're in contact with angels or not, it's super important to be in touch with your own core, your own will, and your own body. I have this saying where I say, like, the body never lies, and what that means is that we get sensations. I'm a very tactile person, so it might be different for you. You might not get sensations. You have some sense that always comes up for you, always, when you're doing what's in your highest interest and when you're doing what's not in your highest interest. You have signals in and around yourself, and they come from you. They don't come from your guides. They don't come from your angelic helpers. They don't come from even the source, the divine. They come from you, from your integrity, from your being. And these are signals in and around you, in and around your body, that say, oh, if you do this, it's not going to be good. Or if you do this, it's going to be really good. For me, it tends to be very centered around, like, heart and tummy and, like, low pelvis. And or even, like, I might get, like, headaches if I'm doing something that's like, oh, it's not good. Or if I'm doing something that's really great, I get, like, this great expansive feeling, like, kind of fluttery, like, butterfly feeling. But then, like, big and light, like, from my heart chakra. It's like, oh, I'm, like, happy. Let's do this. It's a good idea. And if I'm doing something that what's the word? If I'm doing something that goes against my integrity, violates. If I do something that violates my integrity, I often feel it, like, for me personally, like, in my pelvis, like, in my womb area, my pelvis, and my root chakra area. This kind of, like, which is all, like, sacral chakra and survival root chakra, right? Like, oh, this goes against what you need to live. This goes against your needs. So let's go back to your needs. Let's go back to your core and, like, what you need. Sacral chakra and root chakra is all very, like, needs and survival and core. So that's where I get the feelings. The way that you can get in contact with your inner core and, like, what you truly need is, for me, I feel like when I'm advising people, and other people have other sources of advice, a lot of advice that there is, like, meditation. And meditation is important, but unless you're really spiritual, on a spiritual path where you're, like, actively becoming a spiritual healer or a psychic practitioner, meditations, I don't think is really necessarily going to lead you into a feeling of your core. You have to have some sort of, like, other stimulus on top of it, not too loud but not too soft, so that you can kind of feel when something is good and feel when something is bad. For me, when I'm advising people, I feel like nature is, like, super helpful, and being alone in nature, hiking, camping, going to the beach alone, any sort of place, because nature nature also runs on, like, universal will, right? It doesn't have, like, free will like human beings seem to have. We have, like, free will, like, I do what I want when I want it. Nature runs on, like, universal will. This thing must happen, so it's in the flow, and so it's happening. And then this other thing has to help this happen, so this is going to happen, meet up with this, and then they're going to happen together. And so it works on universal flow. So when you're in nature, it's almost like you're putting yourself in a camp, like a boot camp, for feeling universal flow, feeling what is good and what is bad, feeling what needs to happen for you, what is, like, maybe that's not the best thing to happen right now. And so when you're hiking, right, like, I do this all the time when I'm hiking, or even, like, walking through the city. If you're not near nature, just, like, go on, like, long walks through where you live, right, just observational, not, like, to go shopping, not with a purpose, just, like, I just exist here. I exist in this environment, and I am just observing and, like, enjoying and seeing and interacting with my energy. So whether you can hike, like, really, or you can just go on a long walk through, like, where you live for, like, an hour, right, or, like, an hour and a half, like, a long walk. But nature is best. Sort of, like, use your sort of bodily feelings to just direct you. Like, don't plan out, don't, like, get a map and say, I'm going to here and going here. Just, like, use your feelings. And that's how you get in contact with, here's when something feels good, and here's when something is, like, not so good. Because your body might say, hey, go this way. And then your mind will say, I'm going to go this way. And your body is like, no, I don't like that. Why are you going that way? But then you walk that way, and then you see, like, oh, this wasn't the right way to go. Or this wasn't such a good idea. I don't like this so much. Let me go the other way and like see. And it's like, oh, this is more beautiful. This is like a better idea. I should have gone this way in the first place, right? It's like boot camp. You're activating your intuition. You're helping yourself see. Here's how we understand and trust ourselves. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, because I've been talking about it a lot recently, let's talk about manifestation. Manifestation is super, super, super important. We're creating our universe all the time. We're creating everything around us all the time. And you're creating your reality all the time. Whatever you're feeling internally inside your gut, like truly inside of you, is what you're creating outside of you. And so if you want things to be amazing and beautiful, you have to put amazing and beautiful in your core and like be that, like truly be it, and be like, I am the energy of amazing and beautiful, and I am this energy, and that's what's happening. We're going to have love, abundance, amazingness, beauty. That is my life. And it can be very uncomfortable, right, because it goes against like what you're used to. But if you want it to happen, it has to happen in there first. So manifestation, I guess there's a lot of keys to manifestation. There are so many keys. I'll go over, I'd say there's probably like 6 major keys to manifestation. I'm going to go over 2 with you only in this video, and if you want more, then there will be more, but you have to pay for it. So 2 major keys to manifestation is one is you have to put it like in your core, right? So how do you do that? It's big, right? Alright, so, and I've said this in other videos too, one way is to like go around the thing that you want to be like, right? Like, if you are feeling, I want this to be in my life, go be around that. You know, even if you feel unworthy, even if you feel like you are not prepared to do that, even if you feel like you, don't have the strength or the talent or the energy or like whatever. It doesn't matter, because those are self-judgments. Self-judgments, the universe doesn't care about what you think about what you're doing, it just cares about what you're doing. So if you want to have all of that stuff in your life, go be around it more. Like go and be around people that mimic like how your twin flame is, if it's your twin flame, right? And they're like that. And maybe you'll fall in love with someone else, which is fine too. Like, there are no rules to this really. The rule is be happy, follow your path, follow your bliss, and be in your highest manifestation for yourself. That's the rule. Be in your highest manifestation for yourself. Be in the upward spiral, evolve, be bigger, be more. And don't downward spiral, don't stagnate, don't become bored with your life, don't stop growing. You should always be growing, always be going upwards. So if you fall in love with someone else, good for you, right? But if you're going towards your twin flame, you're going towards that energy, be around people, be around situations, environments that mimic that, right? Mimic whatever your twin flame brings to you, brings to your life. So for me, like, mine's a musician, so it's like, well, I should learn music, I should play music, and I should go hang out with musicians and be in that energy. What else does he do? He's also very artistic, and these are also things like in me that I love. I'm not just doing it like to get close to him. It's also things like I desperately, passionately love music, and I haven't given myself permission in the past to love music, right? It's like that unworthy thing. Like, I can't do, I'm not that artistic, and that, like, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared to do music, right? So I was judging myself. And there's no need to judge myself. So just go out, be the thing that you want. Be the thing that's like, I want to be like this, I'm going to do it. He's also very artistic, and I love art, like, so much. And I've always judged myself, like, I'm not going to do pottery because I'm not that kind of person. But clearly I am that sort of person because I love it so passionately, right? So let me just give myself permission to do it. Be in the energy that I want to have. A second key to manifestation is, let me see, what do they want me to tell you? Okay, so you have to have it in your core. And you also have to, and I just talked about this in the reading for today, you also have to truly want it, right? So this means that There's no part of you, you're 100% in agreement with yourself. There's no part of you that's pushing it away, saying, like, this part of me wants it, but this part of me doesn't want it. This part of me is scared or angry or sad or fearful or just like, I'm not worthy. Like, this part of me is like, I'm not feeling this, but this part of me really wants it, right? You have to be 100% in agreement in all parts of your entire being, emotional, spiritual, physical, sexual, like everything. I super want this to happen, to manifest it. And if you're not, the universe is going to say, well, let me just do whatever's in your core. And for a lot of us, because we tend to be in that unworthy place, right? Like, I can't have this. So it's in our core, because we've been telling ourselves this all day. It's like, well, I can't have this. I don't deserve it. So the universe is like, well, let me just manifest that. You don't deserve stuff, and let me just manifest you, like, feeling awful, because it's in your core. So, you know, the universe is going to manifest whatever's inside of you. Like, well, that's what's inside of you. Let me just give you that. So when you want to manifest something, you have to truly, truly want it on all levels of your being, like to the very deepest, deepest insides of you, to like the surface. And if you're on the surface, you're saying, I want this, but in your core, you don't, you're not going to get it. This can be hard. There are people like me that can help you go into your core, because it's hard, right? And there's also, like, past life regression is, like, useful, because what happens is we tend to live unconscious lives of our past lives. And, but those things are still coming through to the present. So any emotion, anything you've experienced that you haven't worked through from your other lives, a good book to read on this is Many Lives, Many Masters by Dr. Brian Weiss, or Weiss. It's like a W-E-I-S-S. And he talks about how bringing through a woman's past lives healed her of all her shyness and anxiety and like everything. And so, and I've done it in my own life, like going through my past life memories, going through all of that has healed a whole bunch of stuff in me. So it's like, I don't have to feel that way. So if you're living unconsciously, you're still manifesting that. And when you make it conscious and you say like, oh wait, I don't want to live this way anymore, I don't want to have that experience again, then you can stop having that experience, start having a new experience. Okay, so those are 2 keys to manifestation. Alright, so magic and miracles with your twin flame. Magic and miracles. The magic and miracles that have happened in my own life have all been to get me closer to him, right? They've all been like, we're going to clear the way so you get a straight shot at this person. And then neither of us manifested it, or like, you know, we were together and it's like, well, nothing's happening though. So, excuse me. So for us, it was that sort of thing. Like, let's clear the way. Let's make miracles happen. Let's bring in these people that are going to bless you and bring amazing blessings into your life to make miracles happen with your twin flame. So magic and miracles for you. And you don't always, a lot of people don't always recognize it when it's happening. But it is when some amazing thing has happened that is like, I want you to be with this person. Like either another person, or a situation involving people, or a situation involving like an event. Like, oh, this event was supposed to happen next week, but it's happening this week. And that ties into perfectly like me seeing my twin flame at this time, because this event happening now, and that's a miracle. That is a miracle. You know, when the universe shifts itself and says, oh, this is going to happen sooner or later, or in this way, or you're going to be sitting here instead of there, that's a miracle. These are all miracles that are happening to bring you closer to your twin flame. And the key with miracles is to be grateful. Okay? The key with miracles is to be grateful. And because, you know, you're not the person that initiated the miracle. All these other people, all these other events, all these other things have initiated the miracle for you, have initiated that for you. And so, you know, that's a gift. It's a gift to you. It is a gift that this is happening for you, for your benefit, to bring you love, to bring you peace and happiness, to bring you divine love and harmonious union. It's a gift from the people around you, events around you, to you. magic with your twin flame is like every, let's say it's like 5D connections, right? Like that's magic pretty much. It's very magical. And I know we don't really count it as magic in the twin flame community, which is interesting to me, because it is, for me, magic is anything that happens outside of like this plane, but is still having an influence, right? So if I direct energy towards someone right here where I am, but I can't see the energy, I can't touch it, but I direct it towards someone, and then it influences them in a positive way or a negative way, whatever. But if I send them energy and it influences them, that's magic. I just did magic on them, right? Like magic is intent and will, and making things happen with your intent and your will. That's literally magic. And so when you connect with your twin flame, like in 5D, it's a magical connection. You know, like you're connecting with this person just based off the purpose, the power of your love, the power of your connections to each other, right? Your power of, because not all people that are connected like have 5D connections, right? Like in any sense. Not all people that are connected have like 5D connections. So when you have a 5D connection, there's an impetus there. There's like a force that's pushing and saying like, let me push this energy towards you, which is magic. And then they're doing the same to you, and they also push this force towards you, which is also magic. They're impacting you with the force of their intent and will. And you all are maybe not realizing that you're magical beings, and that if I think this thing towards them, I'm doing magic on them. If I feel this thing towards them, I'm doing magic on them. You know, you're a magical being, they're a magical being, you're having influence on each other. And you kind of have to be aware of that, right? You can't just like think things like irresponsibly or like feel things irresponsibly. You have to be in the energy of like, let me feel and think things with love for this person. If that's where you are, if you're like, I love this person, you also have to be aware as a magical being that you're influencing them, right, with your intent and your will, and which is magic. And so if you're like, oh my god, I hate this person, you're doing magic on them, because you're a magical being in this twin flame thing that you're in. You're doing that magic on them, and they're feeling that, and they're like, ah, right? Like, oh god, they hate me. Both ways. Magic. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is synchronicities, because synchronicities are not a sign that like you need to be with this person. Synchronicities are the universe reacting to your energy, literally reflecting your energy, being a mirror to your energy. Wherever your energy is, it's like mirroring your energy. And so in the same way, like we can have a part of us that we might be aware of or might not be aware of. That's like, I truly love this person, I truly want to be with them. And the universe, you know, sees your core, sees who you truly are, and they reflect back to you, oh, you really want to be with this person, so whenever you think of them, I'm going to show you this sign, to reflect back to you where you are. Whenever you feel this way about them, I'm going to show you this sign. Whenever you see them, I'm going to show you this sign. Because I'm reflecting your core, I'm reflecting your love for them, I'm reflecting how you feel about them. At the same time, so that's why it's not a sign that you guys are like meant to be together necessarily. If you have a connection to somebody, you guys are like connected somehow, and so they're in your heart, right? And you might be aware of it, you might not be aware of it. This person's in my heart, I don't know why, but they're in my heart. And the universe picks up on that, and it says, this person that you have some sort of connection with, I am going to show you like how beautiful your connection is based on the beautiful purity of the love you have in your heart. And it does this with anybody, with anything, with all things. It reflects back to you what you're thinking, feeling, what's in your core, right? The universe, synchronicities are also a tool. Like I said earlier, there are many beings out there. Some of them a small percentage of them have your highest interest in mind. The majority of them have their highest interest in mind. So synchronicities, this is why, I don't always trust synchronicities. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Synchronicities are also a sign that the universe will use, higher beings will use synchronicities to show you a direction they want you to go in. And so if you trust them and you've gotten to know them and you're like, okay, I like this direction as a free will being that has my own free will, I agree with you, I think this is the direction I should go. And so when you show me like these repeating numbers, 333, 222, 11111, when you're showing me that, and the way you discern is just by like doing psychic work, trying to get in contact with your guides, trying to get in contact with your angels, trying to get in contact with your own higher self and lower beings too. Don't lock things out. Like, just get familiar with something, and then you're strong enough to handle anything. But being in contact with these beings strengthens your discernment as a psychic, magical person, and so then you can tell when you have more discernment. Oh, this is me, and the universe is just reflecting my feelings, or this is a higher being, and the universe is giving me a direction from that higher being. So the higher beings will use synchronicities as a way to tell you the direction they think you should go. And so what will happen for me will be like, my twin flame is Japanese, he lives in Japan, and so I'll be walking on the street, and I'll feel a guidance, from a higher being that's like, oh, I really want you to be with your twin flame. They want me to be with him. And, I might be in agreement with that, I might not be. But I know it's coming from them, from this discrete being that is has their own will, has their own agenda, their own thing that they want, and they really want me to be with him. And so I'll feel that, and then I'll start seeing like billboards for Japan and like Japanese couples, and just like Japanese stuff everywhere, like, you should go to Japan and be with him. And I know it's coming from them, right? But here's a difference between synchronicities and like your higher guidance, like where you need to go. Your higher guidance and where you need to go is when you get a message from someone like me, like a psychic, or a psychic practitioner, or you get a message from a synchronicity, or, well, I don't even trust synchronicities anymore because it's a reflection, right? But if you get a message like an omen, so The Alchemist, that book talks about omens and how things happen, and that's what I consider to be more from like the divine, from the all that is. When something happens, it's like an event, or someone like, here, take this book that you need to read, or hey, I really need to tell you this information for no reason, that leads you in a direction, or animals. So omens can also be like feathers, coins, animals that you see, and like book passages, things like that. When you see an omen, that is from the divine source, and the divine source wants your highest good. Absolutely, it wants what's best for you. And when people like me, so I'm also very divine, I'm also very like holy, I'm in like my source, so not all psychics are like me. And if you've had a lot of psychic readings, then you know that. Not all psychics are like me, but people that are connected to the source, to the divine, to the all that is, because the divine has your highest interest in mind. So people that are connected to the all that is, when they channel through messages for you, they have your highest interest in mind, and not like all these other beings around you. It's like, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. It's like, what's your highest interest? What will give you your best life possible? So when we give you those sorts of messages, what you feel is sort of like peace and relief. Peace and relief. And like, yeah, you're right. Because it's something you're already feeling in your body. It's like, this is what I want to do. Should I do it? And when you get an omen, it's like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, this is what I should do. You're right. This is the right path. You're right. This is the right information. And this other information, maybe it's not right. So when I see a synchronicity, I'll feel very like excitable, like in my aura, my energy. It's like excitable, like, yeah, that would be great. Go to Japan. I feel excited about that, but it doesn't give me that like peace and relief. And it's like, well, that's not a true message from all that is, from the source, from the divine, because all that is that has my highest interest in mind at all times will always give me peace, relief, knowingness. Like, yeah, I just know this is right. When I hear it from you, when I hear it through this channel, when I hear it through this person that's connected to the all that is, I just know it's right. I just feel that's right. I feel it in my body, I feel it in my soul, I feel it in my aura. This is the right, and it like makes my aura stronger and bigger and expansive. It doesn't shrink my aura, it doesn't make me feel like fearful. Anything that makes you feel fearful is not from the divine presence. Anything. So any sort of message you get and it's like, oh my God, I'm doing the wrong thing. That's not from the divine. Okay. Yeah. So that's like synchronicities. Synchronicities are they can be used by any sort of spirit, and they can be used. But if it's not a spirit, it can come from like a strong like heart reaction, like I need a sign, and then the universe is going to hear your request. You put in a request for a sign, and it's going to say, okay, what's inside of you right now? Whatever is inside of you is going to be like, okay, here's a reflection of that, and that's all it is. It's not a sign from God. So okay, another thing to do is like just to say, can I have a sign from God? Can I have a sign from the divine, the all that is? Can I have a sign from God? And then wait for whatever gives you that like relief and peace and like I'm on the right path, I have a knowing, and then that's your sign, right? If you see, if it's like, oh, then I saw my twin flame's name, that's a reflection, right? Usually. So, okay, I know that was a lot. Hopefully it was comprehensive. Hopefully you understood and it's not too esoteric. But that's all I have for you today. Many blessings, much aloha, and have a good, amazing week. Talk to you soon. Bye.